I'm probably gonna be scared for the rest of my life because I called them to help me.
Tonight, a Mi'kmaq woman speaks to APTN about a recent incident with RCMP.
It went a lot better than expected.
The woman who claimed her daughters were Inuit to receive benefits was sentenced today.
It's really to shine the light on Indigenous culture, history, performers, artists.
And festival season is heating up ahead of the long weekend. Good evening, I'm Dennis Ward. Welcome to APTN National News. A Mi'kmaq woman says she has been physically and emotionally traumatized after a New Brunswick RCMP officer arrested her earlier this month. Christina Gillis just wanted help because she believed her daughter was in distress. Angel Moore has this exclusive interview with Gillis. However, a warning, some viewers may find some of the content disturbing.
The bruises have faded a little, a far cry from what they looked like 2 weeks ago when these photos were taken.
Right here is caved in. Yeah. And then my nose here is broken. And then over here I have a bone that's still moving around a little bit. And then these teeth were pushed back up here.
Christina Gillis says a Western Valley Regional RCMP officer did this damage when he punched her in the face multiple times.
I'm scared. I'm probably gonna be scared for the rest of my life because I called them to help me.
It happened on June 13th in Richmond Corner, about 100 kilometers northwest of Fredericton. Gillis called 911 because her 16-year-old daughter was freaking out and ran off into a field.
She started to have one of her episodes because she's got like mental illness and stuff, and it was more extreme than usual, and I felt bad for her father and her brothers and myself as well, but I just didn't want it to escalate more.
But escalate it did when 4 RCMP officers showed up. She hoped they would calm the situation, but things got worse.
And I just questioned it. I was like, I don't understand why they're taunting her right now when we're trying to de-escalate the situation and calm my daughter down.
She claims that she approached one of the officers to ask why they are upsetting her more.
That's when he grabbed my arm and he flipped me over like a rag doll and did what he wanted with me. And I didn't know if I was gonna survive it because I was turned over and almost beat to death.
At several points in the interview, Gillis had to take a break to collect herself. The Serious Incident Response Team, called CERT, is investigating the officer who assaulted Gillis. CERT is a civilian-led police watchdog that investigates when officers are involved in serious incidents with the public. Director Aaron Nouse told APTN News they are investigating.
Right now, we can't say much more than what's been released in the media release. We are conducting an investigation. It's proceeding as quickly as possible.
However, the Gillis family, who are from the Eskizoni First Nation, is upset with CERT's media release that several details are incorrect, such as Gillis's arrest when she was struck in the face. But Christina insists she did not know she had been arrested until she was sitting in the police car. Angie Gillis is Christina's sister.
I believe the narrative, in my opinion, is the RCMP narrative. It is their story as they're telling it. And this is why I felt like my sister, when I tell her, I said, it's so important for you to tell your story.
Nouse admits that most investigators are former RCMP, but insists the investigation will be impartial.
We're, uncovering every stone that needs to be uncovered and conducting a thorough and fair investigation.
Christina is still scared and is staying with her sister in Nova Scotia.
I'll never call 911 again. I'll help my daughter. I'll figure it out.
Christina was charged for assaulting a police officer, uttering threats, obstruction, and mischief. She has to appear in court next September, and there is no word on when the CERT investigation will end. Angel Moore, APTN National News, Jabuktuk, also called Halifax.
Find more on that story on our website, aptnnews.ca. The identity of the man who was fatally shot this week by the Ontario Provincial Police at Anishinaabe Park in Kenora, Ontario, has been revealed. On Tuesday afternoon, the OPP responded to a call after an allegedly knife-wielding man set fire to a store in the park. The Ontario Special Investigations Unit is now inquiring into the death of Bruce Frog, who was fatally shot by police at the scene. Frog, who died at 57, was a member of the Wawa-Kapawin First Nation in Northern Ontario. He was the son of former Chief Simon Frog. In a press release from the council, Frog was described as an avid outdoorsman, remembered for his teachings and stories about the land. A Toronto woman convicted of Inuit identity fraud has been sentenced to 3 years in prison. Earlier this year, Karima Manji pleaded guilty to fraud over $5,000 for falsely claiming her twin daughters were Inuit in order to receive benefits from 2 organizations. To carry out the fraud, Manji used an Inuk woman, Kitty Noah, to obtain Inuit identities. The Nunavut judge's sentence goes beyond the 2 years of incarceration the Crown had been seeking. Kitty Noah died last year. Her son Noah Noah is pleased with the sentence.
It went a lot better than expected. We were hoping for 2 years less a day. So to go above and beyond that and get to 3 years is a good day for us, for sure.
The family of a missing mother and daughter are asking for the public's help in locating them. 47-year-old Christina Magrum has not been seen since January, and 26-year-old daughter Martina Magrum Norm has been missing since October of last year. Both are from the Katlo-Deche First Nation in the Northwest Territories. Stephen Norn is a family member who traveled from Vancouver to Edmonton, where they were last seen.
I just started yesterday, so I'm going to do a lot more tracking around. Hopefully, I had leads and I talked to people, and they told me they seen her, but a lot of them are street people, and I couldn't really trust them, and they could say anything. But actually, I just wanted have a peace of mind, she's okay.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was in British Columbia's central interior on Wednesday to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the landmark Chilcotin decision. In 2014, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled the Chilcotin First Nation has title to approximately 1,700 square kilometers of land in the Nemea Valley area. While there, the Prime Minister went horseback riding and met with First Nations leaders. He was joined by Cabinet Ministers Gary Ananda Sangari, Patty Haidu, and Justice Minister Arif Virani, where Trudeau announced $39 million over 5 years of new funding to help the Chilcotin with various programs.
This will support you as you keep working to improve all aspects of life for Chilcotin communities, whether it's with new homes and renovations, world-class fisheries and ranger programs, family support programs, or many other initiatives. The relationship with First Nations here in BC and with Indigenous peoples across the country have always been extremely important to me and to my government.
Coming up after the break, our Truth in Politics panel will be here to look back on the life and legacy of Ray St. Germain. Stick around. Welcome back. The Daly Dena Council in the community of Lower Post in northern British Columbia celebrated the grand opening of a new multi-purpose building last weekend. The new Dene Co multi-purpose building means People's House in Casca. It will be used for community events, gatherings, cultural activities, and essential services. The new building is on the site of the former Lower Post Residential School that was demolished in 2021. The federal government, along with other funding partners, contributed over $29 million towards the construction of the new building. The City of Whitehorse has installed new signs in the capital in honor of the Southern Shoshone language. The new signs depict Southern Shoshone translations for the city's recreation centers. 2 of them have been installed at the Canada Games Centre. One sign was installed at the Takini Arena, which translates to Play Skate House in English. Southern Shoshone is the traditional language of the Whitehorse area, which is home to the Kwanlin Dun First Nation and Ta'an Council. The new signs follow last year's installation of a Southern Shoshone sign at City Hall. Last year, the city passed the policy to include Southern Shoshone translations for all signs at city-owned buildings and facilities.
Language is such a big part of culture and identity, and we hadn't seen that for a very, very long time in this city, but it's something that we're working towards. So you'll see it with our buildings here, you'll see it with some of the flags that we put up and other initiatives that we were doing with Kwanlin Dun and Ta'an. It's important.
Métis media legend Ray St. Germain passed away this week at the age of 83. His impact is one of our topics this week for the Truth in Politics panel. Jennifer Lewitz is a policy analyst and Niigaan Sinclair is a columnist with the Winnipeg Free Press. Niigaan, Jennifer, thanks for being with us. Niigaan, how are you reflecting on the loss and legacy of Ray St. Germain?
A bigger celebrity in the Métis world you will never find. Not only was he a person that's been there for multiple decades, virtually birthing the modern Métis music movement, even birthing the Métis national anthem, but he is also one of the kindest men, one of the most gentlest people, one of the people who made sure that everybody in the room was recognized and seen, and was quite a revolutionary. During the 1960s and 70s, when his music wasn't welcomed, he would go out and give out free records to make sure that people were able to hear Métis music. And then he also went into mainstream media and made sure that all people from all across the prairies were hearing Métis voices on television. I mean, a real pioneer, a visionary, and a leader.
A real king of media, in addition to music, books, radio, and a long-running television series similar to Shingoose here in Manitoba, Big Sky Country. So he was kind of a big deal here in Manitoba. Jennifer, was Ray well-known there in Saskatchewan?
I think so, maybe just because I was, raised for a lot of years by my grandparents. So I kind of grew up on that type of music. And, he was an Elvis fan, and as most people know, I am a huge Elvis fan. So, and I think, we do have, a fairly large Métis population in Saskatchewan for obvious reasons. I'm sure you can see the Métis sash behind me. I come from a very strong Métis family on my mom's side. And exactly as Niigaan had said, a visionary and paving the way when it wasn't popular for Métis folks to exist. And, now we think of where the current Métis, the Métis nations and citizens are at in 2024, and it was really paved for such a long time by these visionaries and by these pioneers who protected the arts and culture through things like music.
Wanted to get your takes on the Indigenous Stamp series this week as well. Stamps of Indigenous Leaders, the 3rd year they've done this, Canada Post. This year honoring Alyssa P., Christy Belcourt, and the late Josephine Mandamin. Niigaan, your thoughts on this whole thing?
I'm happy to say that you cannot give enough accolades to Josephine Mandamin. I've been in ceremony with her since I was a very young person, and while she's traveled to the West now, her legacy lives on in the thousands and thousands of Anishinaabe and other nations that do water walks now. She was really the innovator and in many ways the beginner of that kind of movement. And of course, Christy Belcourt, who's a good friend of mine and also somebody who I really look up to, just amazing honoring remarkable achievements by remarkable Indigenous peoples, and I'm really glad to see that Canada catches up and sees what the Indigenous community has seen for a long period of time, which is our heroes. And one of the things that my father's always said is that we need to hold up our heroes and recognize our heroes. And while a stamp is just one sort of small way in which to do it, I do appreciate it. And it's also important to recognize that other accolades are happening. Time Christy Belcourt was just announced as a big Order of Canada recipient as well. So,
Jennifer, do you think this was a good way for the Crown Corporation to mark National Indigenous History Month?
Absolutely. I think by bringing, Indigenous arts and culture into a national spotlight like this is incredibly important. The first time I'd ever heard of Christy Belcourt's work, I was a SUNTEP student years and years and years ago. And it was an instructor of mine, Leah Dorian, that had introduced her work to us as young students. And, to see how that art can intersect with almost, our government-owned industries is incredibly important, because we already understand the importance of the arts and culture within our own cultures. But for the rest of Canada to see that highlighted is so important.
Awesome stuff. Jennifer Nigan, thanks as always for being here.
Yeah, me much. Thanks so much.
Festival season is underway. We'll tell you about a couple of them after the break. Welcome back. Time now for our photo of the day. Lesia Yaroshenko noticed this apple tree in Winnipeg, Manitoba was experiencing a double bloom. That's when there's either excessive heat or water stress, and our in-house weather wizards think it's all the rain in Manitoba. Thanks, Lesia. Send your pictures to share at aptn.ca for the chance to be our next photo of the day. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. Starting on the East Coast, 21 in Halifax, 23 for Fredericton, 16 in showers in Kuujjuaq, rain in Nain, and a high of 10. Sun's out in 23 in Montreal and Val-d'Or. 22 with showers in Sault Ste. Marie. A sunny 22 in North Bay. Chilly and 15 with rain in Thunder Bay and Sioux Lookout. 21 with showers in God's Lake and Norway House. 17 and rain for Winnipeg. 15 and showers in Dauphin. 16 with rain in Regina. Showers and 17 in North Battleford. Sun's out in Meadow Lake and La Ronge with a high of 19. Sun's out across northern Alberta, 26 in High Level, 24 in Peace River. Sunny and 22 in Edmonton, 18 with showers for Lethbridge. Cloudy and 19 for Vancouver and Victoria, 27 in Kamloops. 24 in Prince George with showers, rain, and 21 in Smithers. 27 in Old Crow with rain, 25 in Whitehorse. Sunny and 20 in Yellowknife, 29 under the sun in Norman Wells. 29 and sunny in Inuvik, 30 with sun in Fort McPherson. 14 in Chesterfield and Arviette, 13 for Whale Cove. Plus 3 in Resolute, 10 above in Joe Haven. Can push some of that heat in the north down here for us. Well, speaking of the north, organizers in Whitehorse are getting ready to kick off one of the North's biggest Indigenous cultural festivals. The Adaqua Cultural Festival celebrates Indigenous culture and people from across the Yukon and the north. The annual summer celebration takes place at the Quanlin Dunn Cultural Center in Whitehorse. This year's event will feature a gallery showcasing Indigenous jewelry, arts and crafts. Other highlights, of course, include live music, a tent where the public can observe and interact with artists, as well as a fashion exhibition by Saguecum designer Randy Nelson. Robin Chambers is the executive director of the Yukon First Nations Culture and Tourism Association, which hosts the festival.
And it's really to shine the light on Indigenous culture, history, performers, artists, and really lifting up and supporting the importance of recognizing our cultural heritage and continuing to support and educate and help inform everybody. And
the festival kicks off tomorrow and runs until July 1st. Well, it's looking like a busy long weekend with music festivals happening all over the country, including here in Winnipeg. TR Wheatley joins us now with a guest who's half Ojibwe and half Orishan. He's scheduled to perform at the Soca Reggae Festival in Winnipeg. TR?
Yes, that's right. They are getting ready for the Soca Reggae Festival here in Winnipeg. Right now I'm with Sly Skeeta. Sly, tell me a little bit about this weekend.
Well, we have the Soca Reggae Festival for Canada Day Long Weekend 2024. I'm super excited. We're going to have performers and dancers, so it's going to be quite the amazing weekend.
I'm going to get you to use your equipment here in a minute, but let's tell some of our viewers, they may not know you're half Indigenous yourself.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a proud Anishinaabe and Afro-Ojibwe. I'm representing from my father's country, Eritrea, with the capital city Asmara, and also representing for my family in Skowhenan First Nations, Manitoba, Turtle Island.
You have this ready to go with one of the main headliners?
Yeah.
Let's hear some of that music.
Okay, for sure. Four major headliners that'll be on the stage. It will be Moto, Jamil, Afrobeat, and Charlie Black.
It feels different to be a hype person.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Could you teach me all this, and can I DJ with you tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I can definitely show you some tricks and tips. Definitely, you know, for me, it's I'm a music artist, and I kind of during COVID, you know, we're all locked down at home, so I decided to invest in myself and get a DJ controller. So this is the Pioneer XDJ-RR. So it's a standalone, so you don't need a laptop. I use my laptop for recording my music in my studio. I really want to empower our youth, you know, get away from all the negativity, all the gangster stuff, all the bad stuff that our kids are getting influenced these days. And I want to teach them, say, hey, you know, you can follow your dreams, you can follow your goals, you can be proud of who you are as an Indigenous blood. Music can take you far around the world, and you can find success. So I'm living proof of that, and I'm still searching for success. Still have goals that I want to do. I want to win a Juno. You know what I mean? I want to win a Grammy. I want to go to Japan and perform. You know what I mean? I just want to push it as far as I can and represent.
Let's manifest what you were just talking about.
Yes.
Junos in the future.
Yes.
Let's take it away with one of your freestyles, and then show us an Afro beat.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So I'll do a little freestyle a cappella. Check it out, it's your boy Sly. That's right, we in front of the beautiful sky. It's how we do, y'all, wishing it's in front of the cars. That's right, I got a rap from my girl TR. That's APTN on the TV. See my thing representing for WPG. Double time, it's best double time. Rock yourself a drink and cheese.
That's what's up. Y'all are missing out. Back to you in the studio.
It's festival time. Eat the roti or have a jerky.
Love Sly. Can't wait to see if TR joins him on the stage this weekend. Lots of great music, as I said. Wish I was heading up to Dauphin Country Fest. What a lineup there. That's all the time we have for your APTN National News for this Thursday. For news anytime or more on anything you've seen here, visit our website, aptnnews.ca. I'm Dennis Ward. Marcy Miigwech. Thanks for being with us. Have a great night.
Next, we have on. Important moment.